Welcome to Men, Sex, and Tantra.
Discover what your parents, porn, and religion never taught you about being a man and having extraordinary sex. Get ready to have your mind blown and your world rocked. You are listening to Tanja Diamond and Men, Sex, and Tantra, and I still have Lukasz with me. And during our momentary break, we're riffing a little bit, and this is frequently what happens when I have guests that I shoot the episodes, 4 episodes back to back. And so what happens is we get to have our moments of our episode, and then in a moment break, it's like, oh, that's interesting. So we were going to talk about polyamory, but what's even more important, I think, is what we talked a moment about in our break, and that was basically the decline of men's hormones, testosterone specifically, with all of the advent of the American and other diets and the chemistry, the all the different stuff that's going on in products and the environment that are actually taking men down, weakening men, and things you probably don't even realize that you're doing. Because I'll tell you right now, if you're using laundry detergents with smells and scents, and you're using dryer sheets with smells and scents, you can say goodbye to your libido and your testosterone. So let's jump into that.
100%. And scented candles and all of that. The whole industry is full of it, and I see it as part of the again, not conspiracy theory or anything here. I just see it as a global agenda of destroying the strength of the masculine energy by creating hormonal disruptors, disrupting chemicals in the food industry, in the cosmetic industry, in everything that we do actually in life, together with the programming when it comes to sex itself and how we connect with others, how we deplete ourselves energetically by, for example, constant ejaculation, the porn industry, and so on. We could dive into those topics as well, but just to say in this way.
And we started this because you said something about me eating carnivore.
Totally.
Because one of the things that we know is that, the study I've done with the carnivore thing is that a vegetarian diet actually starts to weaken both our bile production and our liver and our enzymes. Because when you're eating vegetarian, which I was 100% vegetarian before going carnivore.
Well, beside that, there's this huge science on estrogen and soy, right?
Yes, right. Monks used to use soy to decrease their libido. So it was used to create more estrogen and lower their testosterone so that they did not think about, the ones that were celibate and working on that, did not have as high a sex drive, did not think about sex. Without cholesterol like butter and fat and dairy and meat, you can't actually build sex hormones. It's built. Testosterone is built on cholesterol.
So yeah, I'm having a lot of clients actually when I work with relationships and couples, intimacy, but also I do work a lot with men that they are in the sometimes even 30s, 40s, 50s and on, and there is huge lack of libido and the testosterone levels are super low. And as we say, the whole industry, the topic is so huge that we could dive into specific cosmetics, into specific chemicals and shaving products that are soaked with hormonal disruptors,
hand sanitizers,
of course, and that's been so promoted in a couple of years ago, right, for everybody to be using. So I would like to say it as this: everything that is commerce, pretty much what I've investigated, I go into and supplements investigations, ingredients, food that we eat, cosmetics. We may actually, me and my wife will make our own cosmetics at home based on our own products. We make our own cleaning products for the house because it's all stocked with these hormonal disrupting chemicals, fake fragrances, all the Chanels and you name it, Dior's, super fancy fragrances that we put directly on the skin are being absorbed straight into our bloodstream. Hormonal disruptors. Men, imagine that the men that use shaving products and shaving the razors that are with the strips that's supposed to
Lubricate the skin.
lubricate the skin. All of these strips, the lubricants on that razors are soaked with hormonal disruptors, chemicals that are specifically designed to kill testosterone in men. So obviously there's an agenda behind it because they already know it. They know what those chemicals are doing to people and they still using it.
Well, look what our pee is doing. So our pee goes into into the waste system, right? And treatment plants. Even like I think it's got to be at least 15 years ago even. They were showing how fish who live outside of these treatment areas, right, in rivers and stuff, they were losing their sex organs. And fish don't have genitals like it, but the fish were morphing and losing their ability to be they were becoming androgynous. They were
There was
losing
a
their
science done
ability.
in Japan. The Japanese scientists did the research on that.
Yep.
100%.
And so
So
they're
it's also this confusion when it comes to sex right now and the genders and all of that. It's pretty much related.
well, now there's a controversial topic.
Well,
That is
it's a distraction of the unit when it comes to first reproduction, of course, and
yeah.
if we want to dive into depopulation and
Oh
how we're
yeah.
going to
Sperm
reproduce
is
as a
what? Is sperm like a third less
parent count.
that it used to be?
Exactly,
Motility is on the decline. They're more
exactly.
infertile men in their 20s than they've ever been before. Yeah, there you think there's a
Yeah.
problem here?
And just also that sexual frustration, that comes with that because the lack of libido creates that frustration in that aspect. There are ways to help with that, of course, to counter that, all of that industry. And yeah, you don't have to start from investigating everything and changing everything in your day-to-day life together with, changing cosmetics you use and products that you use to clean your house and so on. But be more mindful of what you buy, first of all, what are the ingredients, and also physical activity for a man is very important. To move the body, to lift weights. Lifting weights is one of the most testosterone uplifting thing that we can do. Eating meat, as we said, does the same. Uh, uh, Taking specific supplements, like Tomcat Ali is now so popular on the market. I was advised to investigate that product, Tomcat Ali. It's an herb that could be very beneficial in these aspects, same as Murapumum. There are other natural supplements, natural herbs that I actually work with men to restore that hormonal balance. When we take ashwagandha, that creates a hormonal balance. Also, it should be taken daily. It's a beautiful medicine. On top of that, contact with the sun rays, and sunbathing, that also stimulates testosterone. There's many ways that we can approach it and help with the problem. Number one, I would say though, which is beautiful for your topics and for your podcast, is the semen retention for men.
Yeah.
We've been programmed to ejaculate left and right, and the whole
Left and
culture,
right.
Yes, a couple times a day, when we're young, probably because there's so much tension and energy in the root that we don't know how to circulate within our body. And we've been just taught to
Use it as a
masturbate and release.
medication tool. Use it as a medication tool. If you're anxious, ejaculate. Can't sleep,
Exactly,
ejaculate.
exactly. And that creates that depletion on the energy level and also kills the testosterone and libido over time, that it won't be so easy to recover because this energy doesn't replace itself. It depletes over time. So that's why, and that's the same energy that we use for life, living, and manifesting our reality. Is the prana, is the life force energy.
Yeah.
So then when we get older as a man, we are unable to produce anymore. We're not able to have drive for other things in life, to accomplish things, to manifest things, um, uh, because we're lacking that energy.
Yeah.
So
I want to
similar,
let's go low level first. I'm going to give the guys some actual things to look for, right? And then we'll talk about, because if you're doing these basic testosterone life killer things, all the fancy semen retention in the world is not going to help you. So here's what you're looking for, just straight up. Phylates, PHT, how do you spell that? Phylates, yeah. PHTHALATES,
Alex,
yes,
that's in the
phylates.
cosmetic industry
Yeah, phthalates are in
specifically.
just about everything, and they have an anti-androgenic, anti-androgenic effects that reduce testosterone production and viability. I can't speak today. Decrease sperm production and motility, and shorten the anogenital distance, and that increases the odds of genital anomalies. So this sounds pretty scary, but just saying, it should be. You should be scared. Learn what phthalates are. Look for them in your products. Figure out what products have it. This is, by the way, this is not just me saying something. This is literally, I just read from the National Institute of Health. So that is right there. Here's some foods that indirectly lead to lower testosterone levels. Refined carbs and sugar. Yes, in there. If you don't care about sugar, vegetable oils, all you vegans and
All of the seed
vegetarians,
oils.
vegetable oils are bad. Low quality meats and processed foods, in other words, bologna, lunch meat, all that type of stuff, because they have sugar and all these other things in them. Soy products. I'm going to bum you out with this next one, alcohol.
Yes.
So right there, the top basically 5 foods that kill testosterone, right there. That's a big deal, but there's something you can do about that. Endocrine exposure being disrupted. Wow. Getting exposed to endocrine disruptors. There's more than just phthalates, but basically BPA, those are plastic bottles, by the way. Everything you have in plastic, especially the squishy ones, basically if they heat up at all, like in the sun, in your car, anything like that, release BPAs and hormones into your water. BPA, BCB, DDT, there's a whole bunch of these things, and they're living in everything. Cookware, your anti-stick cookware, hello, killing your libido. Use stainless steel, use glass, use things like that. But you should be looking at these things, and not just because it's going to lower your T, and not just because it's going to kill your libido, but because it's going to do other nasty things to your body. All right. And a lot of people are in what's called metabolic crisis. Majority of people are in insulin resistant situations right now in metabolic crisis, which lowers your testosterone levels as well. And all of those things are real. So if you care about yourself at all and your family at all, Lukasz is non-judgmental. He's cooler than I am. He's like, you don't have to get rid of everything. I would literally walk into your house right now and I would pitch every freaking thing in there and start over,
That's for sure.
because I consider
That's
this,
if someone wants to go deep into that,
yeah, because I
100%.
consider
To the
this an
health,
emergency, right? An emergency of epic proportion. That's how I consider that. And in fact, the last person I lived with, I walked into the house, I walked back out, because I could smell the house, the chemicals in the house. And I literally said, if you want me here, bring me some garbage bags. And I just pretty
All
much
of the,
ripped
you know,
them.
every single household has bleach, Lysol, all of these type of products, scented candles that the people
Yeah.
use, the inserts
Your
into
soap, your
the
deodorant, yeah, the air fresheners. Air
the air
fresheners, first
fresheners that
thing.
you insert into
Yeah.
plugs,
Yeah.
all of that,
Yeah. So I'm pretty hardcore. By the way, even your toilet paper, if you're using regular toilet paper, you
100%.
are literally wiping your butt with toxic
Tons
material
of
that has
chemicals,
fast access
and it goes
body.
straight into your bloodstream
Right.
through the,
Right.
you know. Hmm.
Yep. So yes, I use toilet paper, non-toxic toilet
Me
paper
too,
every
me
day.
too.
Woohoo! There we are. We're high-fiving each
I
other.
see we're on the same page. Yes, no, I do read labels. I go through everything. So most of my friends are looking at me as I'm the weirdest person on the planet. But no, I'm very into that. Health and wellness is my thing. Uh, so how to be healthy in the world where that is designed to keep us sick and weak.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
And
that's
so if
the,
you
that's
are
the
having
trick.
sex issues and you are having low libido, if you go to your doctor, they're going to put you on synthetic hormones, which
Yes, please don't
don't
do
help
that.
long term, especially when you can't
That
get.
shuts down entirely your production.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it creates more issue when you get off of it. And of course, there are tons of side effects related to it. But then
Exactly. Yeah.
when you get off of it, you are pretty much done with producing your own testosterone.
And you
That's
can't get
horrible.
healthy in the environment you got sick. So I'm a big believer, like sleep is the most important thing anybody ever does. The right sleep at the right time, because that'll kill your libido and your testosterone too. Then clean
Hmm.
up your environment and the things you can control. That right there, just cleaning up what you have at home, what you're using, and all of that is going to make a huge difference right there. Your sleep and that are the first ways to start combating the problem. I cannot be, um, in charge of what everybody else uses in the world. Like my neighbor downstairs will use, fabric softener, right? That I can tell it's like, oh my God, I just shut down my house. I
So
close everything up when they're doing that because I don't want to smell it. But here's something you're going to find fascinating because we're talking about the carnivore diet. When I went 100% carnivore, before I went 100% carnivore, I would panic at chemical smells. Like literally, my body would panic. After 6 months on a carnivore diet, I realized I was in a hotel and I smelled this smell and I thought, oh, I recognized the smell as they
mhm,
were probably caulking
you are
the
not
tub,
triggered.
right? And I kept going. And then I thought, holy crap, I didn't panic. I walked back, stood there, and he was literally using a glue, right? Which I'm very normally would be very allergic to any type of major adhesive sealant, right? Because even warned you on the label, do this in a place that has ventilation. And I didn't panic. And what I realized is the carnivore diet has cleaned so much toxins out of my body that I'm not in overload anymore. So I don't panic. My body can actually get rid of this. It's not so
Mm,
overloaded that it's like, no, I can't smell one toxic thing. I'm going to lose my cookies.
mhm,
That was the coolest, weirdest thing about going carnivore, healing my liver, healing my body, creating a situation that's cleaned out most of the crap that was stored that allows me to be able to go out in the world without freaking out about all the chemicals in there. That is badass. And not
yeah,
to mention I gained 40% of strength without lifting.
yeah, wow, that's
100%
amazing.
carnivore diet from a vegan.
Mm-hmm,
I was a vegetarian,
mm-hmm,
my carnivore, my flexibility and strength increased
wow.
without doing anything. So
Use
like,
creatine, by the way.
what's
Take
that?
some creatine daily.
Uh,
Creatine,
yeah.
5 grams a day, every day. That's a perfect way to do supplement creatine.
So, all right, let's wrap this up for the guys because we gave them a lot here. They're now freaking out that they're libido and testosterone.
Well, with this freaking out, it's a lot to do to start actually doing a research on it. But please do. There's a lot of information about what to avoid, what chemicals to avoid, and you can definitely start cleaning your toiletry, your bathroom, your kitchen, your cleaning detergents, supplies, and all that we mentioned. You can start making even your own products. It's very easy to do based on baking sodas,
Vinegar and baking soda.
vinegar and baking soda, plus maybe some essential oil solution and stuff for cleaning. Fragrance is the same. You can mix couple very good essential oils, which are actually medicine, into an oil, a carrier oil, like sweet almond, for example, or coconut oil, and have your own fragrance, body fragrance, and use that. There's a lot to that you would have to focus on. I always say I do a lot of research on that, and if anyone wants to approach me with certain recommendation, I'm open to that. Just I have my list of products that I use. I'm not associated with any companies. I just do myself a lot of research. If you want to have, for example, protein shake that is vegan, I know ingredients of. I did my own research, and I can recommend something if you want to have
Non-soy
wheat
product.
non-soy products. Yes, non-soy. But if you want to have protein powder, same. If you're looking for specific supplements, roots that can stimulate that testosterone production and libido, definitely would recommend some. Same when it comes to even cosmetics, cleaning products, detergents, and so on, toilet papers, and everything that we spoke. I do a lot of research on that. So it's important to pay attention what we consume. It's important to be aware what's in our environment and what we apply on our skin, what we use especially on the daily basis. So all the cosmetics and all the foods that we use on the daily basis, like for example the protein shakes.
They make a steak protein shake now. Like they literally
shake.
make a carnivore steak protein shake. I haven't tried it yet.
Wow.
But yeah, that
I would like to try that.
I know, right?
I just got on this grass-fed, grass-finished pure whey protein shake.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's 100% whey protein shake.
So basically what we're saying here is educate yourself, which is a really good thing to do. Also, all over my Facebook wall, I am a biohacker, so you're always going to find interesting things. I know I've been talking about my carnivore diet for over a year and all the different things that I do to help cure incurable illnesses and other things in the body. But get educated. Don't think, oh, these people that are, all these hippy dippy people that are like saying, oh, don't use these things, don't know what they're talking about. Even if they don't know what we're talking about, we know what we're talking about, and we'll definitely research things. This isn't just like, and I'm not just researching, it's not just oh, the hippies say do this. It's literally when I research, I go read scientific abstracts.
Yes, me
I'm
too.
not, yeah. When we say research, it's not like I read an article on
No.
Google. I
There's a
literally,
lot of misinformation, of course, on both sides, right? So
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
dive very deeply into
Yeah,
certain topics.
I read the medical abstracts on the chemistry and the chemicals, like with Teflon. So Teflon is that nonstick coating. If you follow the history of Teflon, you'll find out they knew it killed people and it was bad for people when they produced it.
With most of those commercialized products, they knew when they were producing it.
Right. And what happens is they think it's okay to lose X amount of people based on the fact that their insurance, it costs them less to pay out insurance class action suits than it does to change their ingredients and to change their chemistry, you got to know that
Or
is not
or
paranoia.
make them sick and stimulate the billions of dollars pharmaceutical
Right,
industry.
right. It's not a
It's all related.
conspiracy. Right. We're not conspiracy theorists. You can actually go watch documentaries. You can actually go read the science behind all of these things. But all right, let's wrap this up. So we both said it starts with you. It's called research. It's called, you don't have to take our word for it if you don't want to. You can go and look things up yourself. And if you say, oh my gosh, that's too much to do, I can't possibly do all that, we'll just tell you this. The next time you wonder why you don't give a shit about sex, the next time you can't get it up, the next time you have delayed ejaculation, even where you can't get off, the next time you don't like the fact that your muscles are gone and you got more fat on your belly than you want, the next time,
Saggy boobs
yeah,
for
man
men.
boobs, your boobs are sagging. Next time you just don't feel manly, I want you to think about the stuff that we just talked about and take some damn action. Just take some damn action. All right, we'll be back.